A lot of what ifs, you know, he's been so close so many times to winning or to qualifying. Yeah, it's a hard place to be.
It is indeed.
But so good that he's still here, he's still fighting. He knows it's possible for him. He's just got to keep pushing.
Yeah. Yeah, climbing very, very emotional. I think I felt it more in the commentary box over the last couple of years than ever before. It's just everything, and watching people try hard is incredible. Well, you climbed with this man's mum in a final, as you were saying.
Which blows my mind a little bit.
Yeah, Sam Abazu on the left, Shenso on the left from Korea. Shenso was...
That was in 2012.
Wow. Sorry, that wow made it sound like I was calling you old. Of course not, but it's
fine. It's fine.
It just shows how experienced you are. Yeah, Shenso is become a real role model in Korea. People literally line up to get her autographs. She's always quite shocked by how popular she is, but she's become a sort of a statesman of the climbing scene, and it's good to see her out there.
Yeah, and really nice to see her relationship with Jae-in as well. They are so supportive of each other. Jae-in-so has had some hard comps recently. She's had some unfortunate mistakes that she's made. She's going to be making sure that she's clipping all of these quick draws, because she missed a quick draw in a round recently, and then at the next competition had a big slip on one of the crux moves. Not something we're familiar with seeing, so she's going to be here for redemption. A slip there, but saves it. She needs to get into the flow that we're used to seeing, but yeah, coming off the back of 2 hard comps, it's going to be interesting to see how she composes herself on the wall.
Yeah, the athlete's working through adversity sometimes. Sam Abazu gets the high double clip in there, reaches above his head, so he's sorted the clips for the next section.
Both of these athletes seeming like they're pretty safe for the lead and boulder event that's to come. Sam Abazu sitting in 2nd after the boulder, and Jae-in-so sitting in 9th. So wanting to put a good performance in here, both focused on the task at hand on this event. I imagine they aren't thinking about the lead and boulder right now. They are thinking about this lead route that they're on right now. Both wanting a final spot, having experienced finals before, regulars on the circuit this year, and both winning medals.
Sam, well, I was about to say he looked really strong, and he was locking off his arms, but he totally lost the heel as he did that move. Shan as well is hanging.
I expect that will have zapped his right arm quite a bit, but
there we go.
Left arm slipped. That wasn't his right arm, that was his left arm just pinged out of that hold. Potentially slipped if he's sweating out there. I imagine it's not a dry fire because it's quite warm in here today. But yeah, no, another unfortunate slip.
Yeah, early falls. This men's route has a sting at the bottom. So we stick with Shanso as she rests, but not really much for her feet. She's improved her bouldering in the last couple of years and has become a very good boulderer, which she needed to do.
Seeing her in finals in boulder this year, which is really great.
Yeah, works on that dynamic style as well. Read the route with Yanya, so it's going to be interesting to see if they do similar things. How's that left toe out? Looking composed.
She looks focused, she looks determined. It's definitely not a route that you can relax on, I don't think. The climbers can relax in their face, but at no point are there really super comfortable positions.
I can hear the encouragement
you
there.
You can hear it, right? There's so much support for Jae-in.
Yeah, she's a lovely person and such a good climber. All right, well, she's...
And always has a great bow in her hair.
That's very true, yeah. And as I said, the Youth World Champs coming up after this will be in Korea, so it's exciting. Crosses through into the pockets. And this is really probably the best resting position. Once you've got that pocket, if you can get it, that bridging position allows, but she's not hanging around for long.
She's not, no, she doesn't look like she needs to so much. She's seeming quite composed still. You say it's a good resting position. Some athletes
well, that was big. So she went up, dropped down, almost caught it in the pocket, and then fell a second time. But she's in joint fourth at the moment, according to that score on screen.
Joint fourth at the moment with 2 athletes to go. But again, a surprising slip from her. It's kind of, I hope she's managed just to figure out and connect the dots with what's going on with her climbing. If the temperatures change, maybe the holds have changed a little bit. She was really extended there. It's her foot popped, so her right foot went actually, but not the wisest position for her to be and keep climbing, and she was waiting to get a better hold. And then as she hit each hold, almost a moment of surprise that it wasn't good enough to stop.
3, 2, 1 countdown being given, that's cool. And she enters, and someone who's just really come on in recent years. Like whenever she walks into a stadium now, it looks like she belongs. There was a point where she was a little bit insecure, unsure of herself, and she just belongs on the biggest of stages.
She sure does, and she is still only 19 years old, but she's very, very experienced. She's done so many World Cups. She's had a good year, I would say, maybe not as good as the previous year. She's had some unfortunate results. It's been a season where she's kind of been dealing with some adversity. She had an unfortunate mistake with her clip in 2 finals previous, and then last World Cup, she just fell on the crux move, something we're not used to seeing. Cheon is an athlete that can definitely be up in those top few, and I hope we get to see her give her all on this route.
Absolutely, we're rooting for her. To let you know, Miho Nanaka's score has been downgraded to 32, so she loses the plus.
I thought that might happen.
Yeah, it was a good call. So she's through into the ghost holds now. Swings around, puts that right foot on the jib. And you can see the scoreboard starting to take place now. We haven't got all the names listed on the left, but you can have an idea of where they are.
Cheon opting to miss the far right yellow volume there, going with her own method.
Yeah, true, different from her. And that's not snow falling, that's chalk and dust in the lights there. It's quite atmospheric. Our cameramen are loving those shots.
It did look like snow.
Oh, now that's different. So she hit the side as an intermediate, then bumped into the right, and now she will get stood up underneath, cutting loose.
The route setters were expecting them to, where her left toe is now, take both hands and match as an undercut, and then you can roll to where her left hand is now. None of the athletes have done that yet. I feel like it's maybe not that obvious, but they're all making it work for them. The holds on this big black volume are relatively positive. They're not in cut, they're quite slopey, but they're good holds, and they're on a kind of flat surface. It's making them really work and get into the right body positions. It's really forcing them to be quite technical in their climbing through this section.
All right, Sharon hits the jump with ease, floats through that. Make sure the rope is in the right side for clipping.
I think we saw a slight little smile there, maybe a smile of relief getting that jump out the way so she can get into the meat of the route now.
Yeah, I think the athletes know what a jump like that means. It's just to unsettle them, and we do see it happen. I mean, I said before, we see jumps being messed up like that, so.
We saw a lot of big mistakes happen in the semi-finals for many athletes, so yeah, if you need a reminder that those can happen, check out the semi-finals.
Exactly, just to hype the nerves for you guys watching back at home. I don't want you to have too much of a good time here watching the bottom of this route. Sweaty hands.
Sorry, Cheon here, she was quite hesitant on the sequence. It looked like she wanted to cross to the second crimp and match. There wasn't enough space. The setters had blocked that in order to force this sequence. She came back down, made the bump again, and is now finding a bit of rhythm, it seems. But it did slow her down a little bit there. It
did, didn't it? And she's now makes that clip, and she begins this resistance section all the way to the right and all the way back to the left. On the score of 27, aiming for 42.
Like I said earlier, the atmosphere has changed in here. Suddenly, the crowd, they aren't cheering right now because they know that it's likely she will get through this section, which is very different to the first athlete on the wall when they don't know what's coming. Often they'll cheer throughout. So it's a different experience, all part of the sport. So you can hear a couple of cheers, a couple of maybe the athletes cheering for her, but when it ramps up, when it gets to an important moment, the crowd will cheer and she will know that that move counts. So right now on the wall, she probably knows that these are moves that are possible, these are moves that aren't too hard, just keep climbing, keep going, because she'll be feeling the energy from the crowd, even if it's subconsciously. Yeah, it's a really good point, that. And you can hear it. Now I'm listening for it as well. And the audience now starting to build. You can hear the claps coming as she approaches that head wall. The audience and the DJ doing a great job of it as well. He is hyping the audience. He's starting the build-up. All right, here she goes into the business end. Oh, that was a try-hard face from her then. And you can see there's Jessie's score, there's Mia's score, so she's in the ballpark now. She looked to struggle with that move a little bit. It seems really powerful, quite far, but now she's able to rest and take a little moment to recover. Yeah, and when she does, it's very relaxed. She has that ability to come back from pump.
Shaking out those arms.
Often you can see in an athlete's face where they're at pump-wise. So if they're grimacing when they're shaking, they aren't relaxed. They are struggling. They are having to fight. We saw that she was very relaxed in her face. She didn't seem to be struggling too much. And I think we'll see her definitely get a few more moves out of this.
Oh, she's rocking up on that heel, still looking confident. As the 3 fingers on and a bump out with that thumb pinching. Nearing the point, look, she is moving into, she is now in first position, drawing a knee crample, but due to count back, she will take the lead and out moves past that into 43.
Climbing this sequence perfectly, just as the route setters intended, but an awkward clip here, having to reach all the way through off a terrible hold. You see her fingers, they're just on the volume, her thumb's on the thumb catch. She's going to cross under to a second thumb catch, opting to come back down, have a little shake, compose herself maybe.
Yeah, she has had that moment. Now she needs to go left.
She's made a slight tweak there, so instead of crossing under, she matched underneath with her right hand, which worked so much better.
She works the feet over, crosses through, but falls on that cross move onto the purple jib. She comes down, setting the new score though, and moves into the #1 spot.
Yeah, just a few moves from the top, a really, really great climb. I hope she's happy with that. I hope she's coming down feeling tired. She seemed to start struggling in the midsection and then just kept it going. And we asked the setters, they said this is a resistance route. It's sustained climbing. It's going to zap them. They're going to come off feeling tired if they get that fight in.
Oh, Sharon's evening is done, and a good high point from her. 4 athletes done now. Laura will be up next. Sharon just struggling with that knot a bit. We talked about it in the semi-finals. It can lock up a bit when they fall, so that's why she's having that moment. And let's watch it again.
It's always so hard to undo, you know, when you're pumped. And I think it does mean that she is pumped, which is a good sign. And I hope she's happy with that performance.
Yeah, she needed a confidence boost after those competitions previously, and I think she's got it from that. That was the jump down low. Immediately got the heel in order to shake out and rest. Really the only full resting point. And that was the fall at the top as she crossed into the purple jib. Up high. Yeah, she does look pretty satisfied. Let's have a look at the women's final result. Aimori and Janja Garnbret both topping out, but due to countback, Aimori takes victory, pushing Janja down to silver medal. Shenso in bronze, 47 plus was her score, followed by...
Bronze medalist, representing the Republic of Korea,
Shenso takes bronze. Medal around her neck. Tell you, they are some of the world's best, especially in terms of lead. Well, they are the world's best, literally.